In 2024, archaeologists made some of the most thrilling discoveries in decades. From an 8th century BC settlement in Uzbekistan that reveals how ancient communities thrived, to a 2,200-year-old Chinese tomb filled with treasures fit for royalty, history keeps surprising us. There's even a massive Amazonian city hidden for thousands of years beneath the dense rainforest, now revealed by advanced laser technology. This year also brought stunning finds like the oldest astronomical observatory in Egypt and terracotta pipelines in India showing engineering skills from 2,600 years ago. Whether it's treasures from shipwrecks near Greece or secrets unearthed in Babylon, these discoveries offer a glimpse into ancient lives and untold stories. What hidden marvels did researchers uncover that could rewrite history? Let's find out the top 12 archaeological discoveries of 2024. Number 1. 8th century BC settlement in Uzbekistan. Let's start with something truly ancient. In Uzbekistan, a country in Central Asia, archaeologists found a settlement that dates back to the 8th century BC, more than 2,800 years ago. This settlement was discovered near the Surxundario River, which is a major river in the region. The site had square-shaped buildings with several rooms. Inside, they found stone tools like millstones and pestles, which people used to prepare food. Pottery pieces were scattered everywhere, and some of the rooms looked like kitchens or living spaces. Why is this important? It tells us how these ancient people lived, cooked, and worked together as a community. The archaeologists leading the dig are from China and Uzbekistan, and this isn't their first project together. They've been working in this area for years to uncover the secrets of the ancient Silk Road, a famous trade route that connected many parts of the world. But that's not all. This team also found ruins from the Kushan Empire, which ruled parts of Central Asia around 2,000 years ago. Together, these discoveries give us a clearer picture of life in this fascinating region long ago. Number 2. 148 tombs found during zoo construction in China. Next, let's head to China. At a construction site for a zoo in Guangzhou, a big city in southern China, workers made an unexpected discovery: a massive burial site. Archaeologists uncovered 148 tombs dating back over 2,100 years. These tombs belong to people from different time periods, starting from the Han Dynasty around 200 BC, all the way to modern history. The Han Dynasty is known for its inventions, like paper and early clocks. But now we're learning about how its people buried their dead. Among the artifacts found were pottery, jade ornaments, and even gravestones from the early 1900s. The most impressive discoveries? 2 well-preserved tombs from the Eastern Jin Dynasty about 1,700 years ago and the Southern Dynasties 1,500 years ago. These tombs weren't randomly placed. They followed a neat pattern, with the graves spaced out evenly. Archaeologists think this area was a carefully planned cemetery. What's cool is that visitors to the zoo can now take educational tours to learn about this incredible discovery. Number 3. 4,300-year-old Egyptian tomb with colorful paintings. Now, let's travel to Egypt, where archaeologists found a 4,300-year-old tomb south of Cairo in a place called Dashur. This tomb isn't just any burial site. It's a masterpiece. The walls are covered with colorful paintings that show scenes from daily life. You can see donkeys threshing grain, boats sailing the Nile River, and people trading goods at a market. The tomb belonged to a man named Seneb-Neb-Af, who worked for the royal palace, and his wife Idet, who was a priestess of Hathor, the goddess of music and love. But the story isn't over. The archaeologists haven't finished exploring yet. There are burial shafts in the tomb that they plan to excavate next season. Who knows what treasures they might find there? Number 4. Ancient city unearthed in Tonga. Let's hop over to the Pacific Ocean. In Tonga, a small island nation, researchers uncovered an ancient city using laser technology. This isn't a regular city like we think of today. It was made of 10,000 mounds where people once lived. This city was built around AD 300 to 700 years earlier than anyone thought cities existed in the Pacific. Back then, people were coming up with new ways to live together and support growing populations. They didn't have tall buildings or crowded streets. Instead, it was a spread-out city with homes and farmlands. What happened to it? Unfortunately, European diseases and colonization caused its collapse, but archaeologists believe this is just the beginning. More cities like this might be waiting to be discovered across the Pacific. Number 5. New frescoes found in Pompeii's Black Room. Now we're heading to Italy, to the ancient city of Pompeii. You might know Pompeii as the city that was buried by a volcanic eruption almost 2,000 years ago. Well, scientists there made an amazing discovery this year. A room with black walls covered in stunning frescoes. The frescoes show scenes from Greek mythology. One painting tells the story of Helen of Troy, whose beauty started the Trojan War. Another shows Apollo, the god of music, trying to win the love of Cassandra, a priestess. But this black room wasn't just for decoration. Archaeologists think its dark walls were designed to hide smoke stains from lamps used during fancy banquets. The mosaic floor of the room, made of more than 1 million tiny tiles, adds to its beauty. Nearby, they also found a bakery and a laundry, giving us a glimpse of daily life in Pompeii. The workers who lived there, sadly, were likely slaves, and archaeologists even found their remains. Every discovery in Pompeii brings us closer to understanding what life was like in this ancient Roman city before it was frozen in time. Number 6. Luxurious 2,200-year-old tomb in China. Let's move to another incredible discovery from China. In Anhui Province, archaeologists unearthed a tomb that's over 2,200 years old. It's believed to belong to a king of the ancient Chu state, which existed during the Warring States period, a time when China was divided into several competing kingdoms. This tomb isn't just big, it's massive. It has a central burial chamber surrounded by 8 rooms, all filled with treasures. Archaeologists found over 1,000 artifacts, including bronze items, musical instruments, and lacquerware. The tomb even has a long passageway leading to it, and the coffin lid is covered with 443 wooden planks. Each plank has writing on it to show what was kept in each room. That's some next-level organization. This discovery gives us a window into the political and cultural life of the Chu state. And the best part? Archaeologists are just getting started. More treasures could still be waiting to be uncovered. Number 7. Ancient Babylon excavation uncovers 478 artifacts. Let's move to Iraq, in the ancient city of Babylon. You've probably heard of Babylon. It was one of the greatest civilizations in history. Recently, archaeologists uncovered 478 artifacts here. These treasures were found in Al-Fayyadiyya, a historic district in Babylon. The artifacts include pottery, cuneiform tablets, which are like ancient notebooks, and cylindrical seals used for trade and documentation thousands of years ago. Some of the remains belong to the Sasanian period, which is about 1,500 years old. But what really excites researchers is the layer from ancient Babylonian times. This is where the better preserved discoveries were made, including 2 houses. The rooms in these homes tell stories of how people lived, worked, and built their communities. Babylon isn't just a name from history books. It's a real place with incredible secrets still being discovered today. Number 8. 10 ancient shipwrecks found in Kossos Strait. Next, we're diving underwater. Near the Greek island of Kossos, archaeologists found 10 ancient shipwrecks scattered across the seabed. These wrecks aren't just from one period, they span thousands of years, from prehistoric times to the Ottoman Empire. The team even found a World War II shipwreck. Among the treasures brought up from the depths were Roman pottery, drinking vessels, and an ancient anchor. How did they find all this? With high-tech equipment like underwater scanners and cameras. The team mapped the ocean floor and pieced together the stories of these ships. Some carried goods like wine and olive oil from Spain and Africa to Greece. This discovery shows how connected the ancient world was. People were trading and traveling across the Mediterranean for centuries. Number 9. Treasure-laden burial chamber hidden among Terracotta Army. Let's move to China, where archaeologists made a discovery near the famous Terracotta Army. These life-size clay warriors were built to guard the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor, over 2,200 years ago. Now a hidden burial chamber has been found nearby, and it's filled with treasures. Inside was a massive 16-ton coffin, surrounded by weapons, gold, jade, and even bronze coins. Researchers think the tomb could belong to a son or a high-ranking general of the emperor. What's fascinating is that the tomb wasn't robbed, which is rare for ancient sites. This means the artifacts inside are untouched, preserving a snapshot of history. The discovery adds a new chapter to the story of the Terracotta Army and the powerful dynasty it protected. Number 10. Laser mapping reveals oldest Amazonian cities. Now let's travel to the Amazon rainforest. You might think of it as a wild jungle, but 2,500 years ago, it was home to massive cities. Archaeologists in Ecuador use laser technology called LiDAR to see through the dense forest and map these ancient settlements. They found interconnected cities with homes, farms, and even roads. These cities were built long before European explorers arrived in the region. The largest settlement, Pompei, was as big as the famous pyramids of Giza in Egypt. These discoveries are changing how we think about the Amazon. It wasn't just small villages, it was a thriving advanced civilization that existed for centuries. Number 11. Ancient terracotta pipelines found in Keeladi. Next, let's head to India. In Keeladi, a village in Tamil Nadu, archaeologists unearthed terracotta pipelines that are over 2,600 years old. These pipelines were part of an advanced water management system. They were made of 6 neatly connected clay cylinders that carried water. This wasn't the first discovery in Keeladi. In earlier digs, archaeologists found drainage systems, small tanks, and even graffiti marks from ancient Tamil scripts. Keeladi was a bustling industrial city along the Vagai River during the Sangam era. These findings show how the people of Keeladi were skilled engineers who understood how to manage resources and support their growing community. Number 12. Oldest astronomical observatory found in Egypt. Finally, let's head to the Nile Delta in Egypt. Archaeologists discovered the oldest astronomical observatory ever found in the country, dating back to the 6th century BCE. This observatory was built with mud bricks and used to track the movements of the sun and stars. It even helped ancient Egyptians create their solar calendar and plan important events like religious festivals and harvests. Among the artifacts found were a rare sundial and tools used for measuring time. The observatory also had a large central hall and storage rooms, showing how advanced the Egyptians were in both science and architecture. This discovery reminds us how deeply connected the ancient world was to the stars, and how much we still have to learn about their incredible knowledge. That wraps up our list of 12 archaeological discoveries of 2024. Which discovery fascinated you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history. We'll see you next time.